recently there's a big brouhaha about, Fender being all hungry like a wolf. Like, want to rip everybody apart. Sad. Sad, bad Fender. This is really hard for anyone to talk about, considering it's like talking about Superman, Um, if it's a childhood hero, and then suddenly your superhero goes rogue and does bad, well, then it makes you feel like you've been chasing and supporting a superhero your whole life, only for now um, to not represent you in any way, shape, or form now. I think the thing that maybe Fender lost a grip on was, see, um, I think why people attach themselves to the legacy brand of Fender is because of Leo Fender. And Leo Fender wasn't a musician, he was an inventor, tinkerer. Uh, and the idea that, you know, see that platform, it's like a, I don't know, it's a freaking guitar. Oh, now I understand certain designs should uh, have their intellectual property protected. I agree. I'm in full agreement with that. But we're talking about something that's like, how many decades? 75? Something more than that? I don't know. It's too many years. It's good many years, you know? And because of that, it I think it encouraged the world, including the manufacturers of said design, to um, participate. So that participation gesture or openness is an embracement. Now, what Fender has recently done has severed the idea of an embracement with this cease and desist letter given out to many manufacturers of who um, may utilize that design feature platform that Leo Fender provided for us many decades ago. And I think it was to the world's advantage that Leo Fender not only inspired musicians, it inspired manufacturing. Because that's what he was doing. He put together the idea, the concept that we have parts and we put it together. It's kind of like an erector set for musicians. And I think most people caught wind of it because it seemed logical. Gibson was doing it a different way. Gibson came out of what came from musicianship. You know, I, but with Leo Fender, uh, grasp on it and his whole reason, impetus to create such a figure and utensil, a tool. And so now my heart goes out to many people who are being affected by this emotional disconnect that Fender manufacturing is placing upon everyone to think about and come up with their own conclusion. Because in the end, you see, here's the thing. The reason why people buy guitars in the first place is, well, we would like to say it's more likely it's an emotional thing. Yeah. And the essence of music requires that, well, it doesn't require, but it does help contribute when you utilize and include emotion. And let's just say many musicians, when they play their instrument, they play with emotion. And a lot of these things, emotions, that is. I mean, there's some stuff that's on the surface and some stuff that's on the inside. And some musicians won't show any of the inside. They just show the outside, or vice versa. Right? But it's included. We have to include that. That makes our music either that much more happy or sad, but because we include our emotions. But now, what Fender has done has included into our psyche and our reasons why to pick up an instrument, or what does now the name on this headstock represent. And that's just the beginning, because that's just the emotional aspect of it. The physical aspect as well. Well, that includes actually it being coming a product, from a blank of wood to it being cut out and sanded, pickups installed, QC, and then rolls off the cart with a price tag on it. And let's just say an included surcharge of um, uh, for all their hard work in the past. So, and there's a reasonable amount that I'm sure that everybody would agree we would dole out if Fender were to approach connecting to their musicians, not their stockholders. Because I don't know if their stockholders play guitars. Unless every one of those stockholders are playing guitars so they understand the reason why guitarists love Fender, they won't love Fender because of um, bullshit. They want to love Fender for a real good reason. But you know what? You mess with a musician's feelings and emotions, well, the likelihood that you have disconnected a relationship, I think that's what they did. And that's what they're doing actually every minute of the day. They're doing that. They're losing. They're losing. And the people who are just hearing about it they're like, "Are you kidding me?" Now I've heard this now for a couple of days, and my heart goes out. I've been following a lot of my other influencers on YouTube, like Tim Pierce and KDH and uh, 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 a lot of folks, and I'm blown away by it. It hurts. It really, honestly hurts emotionally. Like, It's like, not too long ago we lost GNL. Now we lost GNL for financial reasons. No one could, for whatever it's worth. I don't know. But now this losing Fender is that's a self-implosion of self-sabotage of the upper echelon of Fender management, and not having any connection at all whatsoever with who their clients are. Hell, at this point, I'd say Alibaba probably knows more about their clientele than you do, Fender. And that's shameful. How dare you? How can you do that? You did that to your own folks. You did that to the folks, not only to the folks who own your instruments, but you're doing this to the folks who want to own your instruments. And now you did it to the folks who have been with you from the start, from the beginning, since pre-CBS. What the why? Oh, maybe it's because you got a little upset that somebody was doing things. And I understand. Point it out. But don't be a prick and hurt the entire planet for it. What's the matter with you? How dare you do that? That's shameful. That's disrespectful. That's a scar, self imposed. And for what gain? Yeah, you gained nothing. You gained disrespect. You gained disconnection. You've gained a following of non followers now. And you did this all on your own. Self imposed. Because you know what? There's plenty of folks who absolutely love your products. And despite them being shitty sometimes, they still stand behind you, knowing, not by mere speculation or hearsay, but by fact, that other guitar manufacturers can do guitars better than you at a lesser cost. Kind of like more humane, I should say. Whereas you, on the Fender, not, yeah, just Fender. I got to talk. Well, who am I talking to? Because as I pointed out before, I'm sure there's someone, who works on the assembly floor, where they're fabricating these beautiful instruments. He's working on a belt sander and he's doing these things, and I can assume or hope that he's doing it with pride, and that the people who receive that neck that's passing through his hand or body will feel that passed on love and commitment to connecting. It's I that's it. I had to get that off my chest because I don't know if this will ever be resolved. Or maybe it's already been resolved and it's actually the resolution will be more confirmed as every minute goes by without an immediate reversal of this decision to go nuclear. Okay, gotta go. Be kind to each other. See you the next time I get all choked up.